Eddie Soldiers. Happy Valentine's Day. Whether you are single or partnered this Valentine's Day, whether you're anti-Valentine or you're super in the mood to celebrate the season of love, do I have the video for you today. As I was dreaming up topics to do for a Valentine's themed video, all I could think of were things that were super overdone or rants. And I couldn't think of a good twist to put on all of the overdone ones, so you're gonna get the rant. This was mostly inspired by Lexi, aka Newly Nova on TikTok, and her trope jail video series that she's just started. Oh, I have a spinny chair and a glass of alcohol. We'll see how well that combination does tonight. So if you're getting ready to go out, or you're getting ready to spend a night in with yourself or with nobody, or you're just maybe it's not even Valentine's Day when you're watching this video. Maybe I'm not even gonna post this on Valentine's Day. Maybe it'll be Wednesday. Maybe it'll be Thursday. I don't know. I don't know what fate holds for me. But regardless of time or season, without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and settle in. Well, myself, my 2 remaining brain cells, my time limit, and my limited budget give to you the anti-Valentine's Day special Romance Trope Jail. So if you'll give me a second to set up. Welcome everybody to the Romance Trope Showdown. Look, I do not have my channel monetized, okay? You're gonna have to deal with the budget version of Casey Zano. Also, I wanted like a pointer to like smack things for emphasis, but I only have a pride flag or a sword, which maybe is one of the gayest things I've ever said, but the sword's too unwieldy, so we're gonna go with this today.
Oh, hello, didn't see you there. I just need to pop in here and say that while I was editing this, I realized that I fully spelled the word categories wrong, so my university will be coming by next week to revoke my English degree. But you gotta cut me some slack, okay? I was hungover, I was sleep deprived, I'd already been drinking, and I put this poster together at the last minute at like 7:30 p.m. So I would just like to have that taken into consideration. Thank you all for understanding during these trying times.
And also, quick disclaimer, if you like any of these tropes, that's wonderful. Because it's me on my channel with my opinion for this video. I have some issues with them, which we will get into. But I do think I am the correct person to be talking about these romance tropes this Valentine's Day, because I am a book blogger with over 10 years of experience. I've read my fair share of romance novels. I work in publishing. I'm gay, and I'm jaded. I'm gonna have too much fun with this, uh-oh. Alright, so, number 1. Insta-love. Oh my god, you're so predictable and boring. Hey, do you know how many Shakespeare essays I've written in my time that I've had to make each individually engaging? I can do this. Give me a second. 2 characters see each other and then suddenly, oh my god, you're perfect, you're the one for me, even though we haven't even spoken to each other, wow. People are getting insta-love and insta-attraction mixed up, because I think you can do insta-attraction. I'm assuming most of you have had like a really good first date, or maybe you have like a one-off meet cute in the bread aisle of a Trader Joe's. What I think makes a good insta-love is when the author uses that interaction to build the story out. Because, I mean, how many people are you like, oh my god, that is a fine ass piece of a human being. They are so cute, they are so hot, like what are they up to? I need to get me a piece of this. And then they open their mouth and you're like, oh, you're so fucking boring, never mind.
I respect when an author uses an initial attraction to better build and develop their characters with. You can use that initial attraction to build a stronger relationship between the two, or you could use it as a foil to further their own character development, or you could put that attraction into conflict with other relationships that either character may have. Like, there's so much potential, but instead we get these 2 people that look at each other and they're like, oh my god, we're soulmates. Foreshadowing.
Next up, love triangles. Love triangles. And then I drew a little triangle in case you forgot what a triangle looks like. Love triangles are the kind of thing that if you're writing a love triangle in 2023, you might deserve to go to jail. Like, you're at least getting a hearing. Is that how the judicial system works? I'm so sorry. Do not take anything that I say seriously. Because, once again, if done right, they hit. But most of the time, they're not. The one female main character who has 2 gentlemen callers, both alike in dignity. Boy next door with blonde hair who's been her best friend forever, and then the other dude is like some guy with dark hair who's like mysterious and dangerous and has a motorcycle. because apparently people with blonde hair can't drive motorcycles. And ooh, they're so different, they appeal to different sides of her, which one's she gonna choose? Obviously it's the bad boy. Obviously, every single time. Like, there's literally no competition, and that's what makes me angry. It's been so long since I read an actual love triangle where I wasn't sure who the main character was going to end up with. It's also a dick move on the behalf of the other person in the V, because if you know that these people are in a apparently loving relationship and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fuck that up. You, sir, are a homewrecker, and that's not nice. In love triangle situations, it's always the girl choosing one of the guys. Like, monogamy is the end goal. Love triangles are never love triangles. They're always love Vs, because it's the two guys fighting over the one girl. I want to see some isosceles action over here, and we just don't get that. Although I did do a video a couple weeks ago on my favorite thruples, so go check that out. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every love triangle could be solved with either a duel or a threesome. So I'm not seeing a lot of dueling taking place, that's all I'm saying. Up next on the chopping block is... I can't read backwards. What does that say? Miscommunication. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. Well, I guess you are gonna get me started because you're here watching this on my channel. The miscommunication trope is one of my all-time least favorite tropes. It's so fucking annoying. Whoever uses this in their book deserves capital punishment. Both in books and in real life, communication is key for any healthy relationship, and it's so frustrating when two characters will just not talk to each other. Like, literally your entire plot could have been solved if two characters were in a room and had one conversation. That is not good writing. Of course, the plot can be fueled by miscommunication because you need some kind of tension and conflict, but that cannot be the main source of your conflict.
Hello, it's me again. I must clarify. I do not mean miscommunication in the vein of like, oh, I thought I had a curse on me that if you fell in love with me, you would die, so I'm not going to tell you because you might die. Like, no. We're talking about the kind of relationship where the dude is like, oh, I saw this girl like across the street and she was talking to another man, so I automatically assumed she was cheating on me and I broke up with her, but I didn't tell her that and I just left. Like, what?
Makes me hate your characters because I just think that they're dumb. Also, a reason why I hate this is because it typically comes up in romance novels, but adult romance novels. And, okay, if you're 16, fine. Miscommunicate a little. You're new to the world, you know, you're fresh on the relationship scene. But if you're an adult and miscommunication is the biggest form of conflict in your life, like, how did you get this far? Grow up or go to jail. I feel like that was very harsh, but it's the time of night where my true feelings come out. Ooh, what's up next? What could it be? It's age gaps. Now, I know a lot of you like age gaps, and I have questions. We can break this down into a couple of different categories because when I first was thinking of this as a category, I was like 5, 6 years, fine. Even like 10 or 12 years, I can forgive it if the protagonists are old enough. I'm talking about the age gaps where, like, the girl is young enough to be the daughter of the love interest, and that's just, it's just weird, okay? But Rachel, silver foxes are hot, you know? We get to be like, daddy. No. Hey, eyes, look. I'm your daddy now. I'm saying that's weird. And taking the sex part out of it, like if you are a legal adult and you want to have sex with somebody who's like at any age, go for it. It's you and your body, you know, go wild, have fun, go crazy. My question is like, because these are romance books, you know, the point of it is romance and relationships. What do you have in common with somebody who is like 20-something years younger than you? Especially being in your 20s, like you go through so many stages of being in school, maybe moving out for the first time, or like moving in with multiple people, not having a stable career, figuring out who you are, what you like. And then, like, what do you have in common with some, like, 50-year-old billionaire who, like, dresses only in suits and drinks expensive whiskey when, like, you've only heard of Mai Tais, vodka, Red Bulls, and mojitos? A lot of romance books do this, where they're like, well, these two characters are hot, so obviously they're gonna be hot together. And you're like, yeah, okay, but like, you know, do they like Xbox? Do they both like shopping at the Gap? I don't know. What do they have in common? Another sector of this I want to talk about is the paranormal age gap. That's right, my paranormal girlies. You're not safe from this. This has been brought up on TikTok a lot lately, actually. I'm kind of glad we're having these conversations because it's always the paranormal fae or fallen angel or demon or whatever supernatural dude who's like super buff and super hot and usually immortal who falls in love with typically a minor 17-year-old girl, if you're lucky 19. Once again, what do you, an immortal fae lord who rules over a full, like, political court of people and has seen humanity rise and fall and rise again and has been alive for longer than, like, most civilizations. What do you have in common with a 17-year-old who still needs help on her biology homework? And even though it's psychologically proven that men and women mature at different rates, are you telling me you need 1,000 years to mature to the same level as a 17-year-old girl? It's just a little sus. Like if I was an immortal fallen angel and I'm preparing for war, for battle, and suddenly this random like 17-year-old who I've never seen before in my life is like, I'm the chosen one and I want to save the world, and like, you're like so cute. I would be like, who is this? Who brought their kid to work? Does she need a babysitter? What's she doing here? So let's just knock this off, okay? Like if the main character is young enough to be that love interest child or like great grandchild, absolutely no. Straight to jail. All right, who else is joining the cell block? We're gonna talk about pregnancy tropes. Oh my god, okay. I hate pregnancy tropes so goddamn much for a variety of reasons. One thing is slightly personal, and that's just I do not want children. It's not for me, and I find the idea of pregnancy and like becoming pregnant just very... I don't like it. It does not spark joy. When a character gets pregnant, it's usually because there needs to be tension in the story, and it never results in them actually having a child. Either we never see the baby, maybe it was actually fake, so in that scenario it just never mattered and you could replace baby with something completely different and it would make a difference. Or we see the character with the child in the epilogue, so we never actually get to see them interact with their child, and it's just tacked on as a shorthand for heteronormative happiness. It's both unfair to the reader because you never really get delivered a family.
Pun not intended.
It's this tension driver of the main character never wanted to have a kid, and then suddenly she's pregnant and like, oh my god, actually I totally want to be a mother, and this guy who won't commit to me, who's a mafia boss or a 1,000-year-old fairy or whatever, who's never said that he wanted kids and in fact has actually stated that he doesn't want children, suddenly is like, oh my god, I'm a total family man now, 180. I have so many thoughts on the pregnancy trope and the idea of happily ever afters and heteronormativity, so if you want a video on that, I have a full Google document ready to go. If people continue to use the pregnancy trope in 2023, I will clap them in irons myself, straight to jail. My glass is empty and I still have 3 tropes to go, so I will be right back. And hello, we are back. Oh, I put a little too much gin in this one. Oh, what? I can make this go higher? Oh, I had adjustable bar stools for a reason. Continuing onward, let us pick this one. Bully romances. Ugh. So listen here. This is big sister Rachel giving you advice, okay? Don't go out with somebody who is actively mean to you. I hate that society has told girls that if a boy is picking on you or if a boy's being mean to you, it means he likes you and boys will be boys. Like, absolutely the fuck not. I'd say this for YA and teen stuff too, but like especially like college age bully romances. Like, what is wrong with you people? You want someone to be mean to you? And I'm not talking about like a little degradation during bedroom shenanigans. You can do some sarcastic banter or you can do a little bit of brattiness, and that's kind of hot. I'm talking about like, this person ruined your life, told the school that you go to something horrible, or like got you kicked out of somewhere, or is like constantly like verbally assaulting you. Why am I supposed to fall in love with that? If we're talking about overly controlling or like easily angered love interests, that is also not a good depiction of a healthy relationship. If you like or love somebody, presumably you would want to treat them well and respect them. But Rachel, all romance novels are technically fantasy. None of them are real. They could be literally whatever the fuck we want. Yes, but typically you get your worldviews from the media that you are consuming, either consciously or subconsciously. And so like when I was much younger, I subconsciously looked for those like YA bad boy love interests to date because that was the media that I was consuming, and it told me that that kind of person was desirable. So I had some terrible relationships in my teens and early 20s because that's what I was told to look for. Oh, Rachel, I really like bully romances. They're actually really sweet. No, you could argue this with me all day. It will be like arguing with a wall. I refuse to believe that bully romances are like a good, productive way to look at relationships in today's modern society. Why do you find someone being mean to you hot? If someone's mean to me, I will cry.
And before any of you go and say, oh, I like a broken man, that means I can fix him. Girl, no, he does not need a girlfriend. He needs a therapist.
So no to bully romances. If you're mean to me, you need to go straight to jail. We've come to the final two, and I do not remember which one's which, so let's do this one. What are we talking about next, Rachel? Why, in fact, we're talking about how the virginity trope needs to go to jail. I like to think of myself as an open sex positive person, and I've done a ton of videos on this channel already about like sex and YA and sex tropes and like stuff about relationships and sex and romance, etc., etc. But it's literally the year of our Lord and Savior Lizzo, 2023, and we are still writing virginity tropes? I'm here to break it to you. Having sex does not make you a whole new person. It really doesn't. Like, there's not like a glow that you get. It's not like a stamp card. As a woman or somebody socialized as a woman, you're not giving a part of yourself away when you have sex for the first time. Someone is not taking something from you. It's not like, oh, it's ready to have sex. Let me just like pull this little like action figure out of my pocket and like, there you go. You now have my virginity. It's not how that works.
I'd also like to remind everybody that virginity is a social construct, and sex is not just between a man and a woman. It does not have to involve penetration of any kind. I hate the fact that I had to say that word.
And I would say most of you know there's no comprehensive sex education in schools. So a lot of misinformation and old stereotypes about sex get written into books as what's normal, and it's just not. I'm like, why are we still perpetuating these random weird myths? Okay, look, if you are having sex for the first time, or really any time, it should not hurt, and it should not be a bloodbath. If you've done enough stuff beforehand, like, it should not hurt. And if it hurts, stop. And you should not be in a puddle of your own blood when you're, like, done doing the nasty, okay? That's bad. Something's probably gone wrong. You should go get that checked on. And that myth is still heavily prevalent in romance novels, and it's like, lady who is writing this, because 9 times out of 10 it is a woman who's writing this, like, you have all the parts, you've gone through it, I'm assuming, like, you know that that's not right? And then the other thing is this whole, like, obsession, especially in paranormal romances, something that is, like, constantly brought up by everybody else in the story of, like, they're a virgin, oh my god, they're a virgin, she's so special, she's extra good, she's extra pure, she's the savior, unless she has sex and then she's like the most horrible person ever and she's gonna bring about the apocalypse. Like, what? Could you imagine if you had the power to bring about the apocalypse just by having sex? Like, damn, what a girl boss move. Why is that so important in the 21st century? Like, are we still tying people's worth to that now? Still? Why? Can we just relax a little bit? Like, I've never been rock climbing. Does that mean, like, I'm a rock climbing virgin? Does that count for anything? I don't know how many people watching this are authors or are authors to be, but can we just right now make a pact, just right here, you and me, we're gonna shake on it, we're gonna pinky promise, and we're not gonna write any more weird virginity tropes, okay? It's, hey, okay, good? Good. Because if you do, you're gonna have to go straight to jail. That's just the rules. My camera battery's at 69%. Okay. I'm an adult. And lastly, oh my god, we made it, everybody. Lastly, the final trope that deserves to go to jail for its crimes is the soulmate trope. All of you knew this was coming. Literally have a whole video on this. It was back like 5 haircuts ago. It's when I still had bangs and hadn't discovered blush yet. But I hate soulmate AUs to an unreasonable degree. And before you ask, yes, fated mates also falls in that category. And I know I'm being harsh, so if you think that there is somebody out there who is cut from the same piece of stardust as you that will get you on a physical, emotional, mental, sexual, spiritual level, and you're gonna be together forever until the end of days, and you're just gonna be like the closest of close of people that could possibly ever be in the entire universe, I'm so happy for you. I, however, think the idea of soulmates is the most heteronormative bullshit there is out there. The idea that one person needs to fulfill all of the needs of another person. I'm of the opinion that there is no one singular person that is perfect for anybody else. Even if you are in a loving long-term relationship with somebody who, you guys fit really well, you're on the same page with a lot of stuff, you have similar interests, you have a similar love language, there is always going to be at least one thing that you guys don't agree on or don't get along on. And that's also okay. You're putting so much pressure on this hypothetical soulmate that maybe you're not perfect for them or they're not perfect for you at this moment in time. Like, I'm so different than I was 5 years ago, 2 years ago, like 2 months ago. The underlying theme of soulmates or fated mates is that there is somebody out there who loves you regardless of what you do, like is an unquestionable love. But I find most of the time when an author writes soulmates, it's just a cop-out way to make the characters kiss without actually writing chemistry. Because the whole fated mates thing in fantasy and paranormal usually has the dude, soulmate guy, be this controlling love interest that's kind of a dick, but you're meant to be soulmates till the end of days. And I'm like, but why? This guy sucks. Like, does the universe hate you that bad? What did you do in a past life to get karma like that guy? And as I have ranted about before, the soulmate thing, it just doesn't make sense, because how do you know that you've met your soulmate? If we're in a world with, I don't know, close to 8 billion people right now, why would soulmates be like the person next door to you? Why wouldn't it be like somebody across the world? How would you know where your soulmate was? Are there like detective agencies to help you find your soulmate? What if you go your whole life without ever meeting your soulmate? What happens then? What if you fall in love with somebody who isn't your soulmate? What happens if you meet the person that is, but you already love that other person? I have questions that need to be answered before I fully invest in the soulmates, fated mates trope, and right now I am being left on red. I have a feeling this one is going to be the one most hotly contested, so if you like soulmates, fine. You will not go to jail, but the people who are in the soulmate relationship will. So, think about that. And that is that on that. It is quite a bit later than I was expecting. But I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I personally believe that all these tropes deserve to go to jail, so when I become supreme being of time, space, and the universe, I will make it so. But until then, we can all keep enjoying these, I guess. Please leave down below some of your favorite or least favorite tropes, or how about you all give me an example of a book that does one of these tropes well? Because I also have books that I think do these tropes well. So, I mean, maybe that's also another video if you want me to dive into that. I also hope all of you are either having or had, depending on when I post this, a good Valentine's Day or Valentine's week or whatever. If you just had like a chill evening at home with your partner, or just by yourself, or maybe you spent it with your family, or maybe you totally forgot. And that's also valid because time doesn't exist anymore. I didn't even realize that it was February until like a full 4 or 5 days into the month. Also, this is one of the first times doing red eyeshadow, and like it is bringing out something in me, and I don't hate it. The last couple of weeks I have purchased myself quite a few books, as well as had some things sent to me, so keep your eyes out for a book haul coming soon, because to quote one of the fates of the Disney movie Hercules, it's gonna be big. That was a terrible joke. I will see myself out. You know where to click to like the video. You know where to click to subscribe. I hope you guys are all having a nice day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!